He has always been a dreamer, and he thinks of something and then he does it, and to the amazement of a lot of people, they're like, in your mid-50s, you're selling your company and going into ranching? You know, and they all say, man, I wish I could do that. Anybody can. Just do it.
It's sort of always been a dream of mine, and when I met my wife Jeannie, it was a dream of hers, and it was one of those things where neither one of us came from a ranching family.
This isn't the first change of career he's had.
My dad sailed across the Atlantic Ocean, climbed pretty much every huge peak in the world besides Everest. He's always done everything all in, and the ranch is nothing different than that.
It was always a dream of ours, but I always kind of thought we'd had a nice little gentleman's ranch with a few cows and, you know, nice horses, great places to ride. And it became evident to me that it wasn't going to be that little gentleman's ranch.
We're located here in the Tarryall Valley, which historically has been a high mountain valley that's been grazed by ruminants for tens of thousands of years. Our goal when we bought the ranch was to produce the finest beef we possibly could. So we set about trying to figure out how we could improve the beef cattle that were here. Genetics is one part of that. Inputs and how cattle are treated are other two critical components of what makes a great tasting piece of meat. We've had chefs from one of the top steakhouses in the world really out here talking to us about the cattle. He says the best tasting steaks in the world come from happy cows, and that's always been our philosophy here too.
I guess I am the keeper of the cows. I've always been an animal lover, and I think that's why this job is so easy for me to do. When you go out with a tractor or a drag or whatever, you can just tell they're happy. They're bucking around, they're screaming at you, they're spinning, they're darting. That all makes me happy.
Our beef is raised on protein-rich, nutrient-rich grass. Our cattle have free access to pure mountain runoff water and clean mountain air.
Every day's got to be a good day for these cattle, which means nobody pressuring them, careful how you handle them. We don't like to touch the cattle. They deserve their own space, and they're allowed to move that free will out here in the pasture.
One of the big things I think for certainly my generation is knowing where your food comes from. As a mother, I like knowing what kind of food I'm serving my children. It's especially nice when I can sit down and feed my kids dinner that we know we can trace back to every component of its life from our ranch.
Our relationship with IMI Global and where food comes from, I think, is critical to our operation here. It's not just the certifications and the authentication that they can provide. It's also an extra set of eyes that come up here and review virtually everything we do that involves the animals.
They've taught us a lot the importance of being good to your cattle. When you're working through some of these certifications that we have, you learn to treat them with respect. And I'm proud of that.
I like to think that we'd be running the same kind of operation without their partnership. I don't know, honestly, whether that would be the case or not, but having them on board keeps us running the kind of operation we want to run. We are certified GAP Level 4, which is the Global Animal Partnership. We're certified NHTC, which is the non-hormone treated cattle. We're developing a line of non-GMO product here too.
If you ask my children here about what they like to eat best, it's going to be Eagle Rock beef, or they would call it Papa's beef. It tastes different. It feels different feeding it to your family. It just feels good. And I think that kind of the energy around that movement is huge.
We just want to bring quality into everything we do. If you approach it with attention to detail, care, and really love of what you're doing, what you will end up with will be a quality product.